Hello, fight fans. Welcome to More Than a Fight podcast. I'm your host, Jose Alfredo Alcázar. Bienvenidos. And today, your co host will be
John,
Juanillo's out. It's his mother's birthday, so we all understand that, of course. Happy birthday to Miss Perea.
happy birthday.
All right. With that being said, guys, we had a huge fight day, really. I mean, it was a weekend, but it was just a massive day full of fights. There was 3 boxing cards and a huge UFC event, not to mention BKFC and PFL, both events held in London. Um, so it was fights on fights on fights on fights. It was insane how much was going on in one day.
Dude, I think Juan started watching fights at like 8 o'clock in the morning or something like that. We didn't get done till I think 1 because we went back and watched all the boxing. So
Oh,
yeah,
1 a.m.
yeah. So it was
Gotcha.
basically just almost all fucking day.
Yeah, U.S. time. West Coast because we're in Las Vegas,
Yeah,
Nevada. I started watching at 9 a.m.
yeah.
So I had a coffee in my hand and I was watching the pre-fights, the before the bells, what they call them, I think on DAZN. And yeah, I went from morning. Well, obviously when I got out, I watched some of the fights
Yeah,
with you guys, but I didn't make it to 1 a.m. like you guys did.
yeah. All right.
But okay,
So
John, what do you say? Should we start in Jeddah?
yes, sir. So talking about Alexander Usyk versus Anthony Joshua too. It was a it was interesting.
Yeah, man, it was drama, silliness, uh things that made you shake your head. I mean, this thing had it all. I was just like, man. You want to start in the main event?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So, obviously, main event was huge, and that was what everybody was waiting for. And I know we had to wait a little bit longer than we anticipated because they threw in a swing fight. But yes, the main event, Joshua and Usyk number 2. Right off the bat, they started off where they left off. I thought like Joshua was boxing, but he did look a little better for sure. He was doing good work to the body, I thought, early in the rounds. And even in the mid rounds, I thought he was landing some good shots. Even that shot that he hit on Usyk supposedly below the belt, I thought it was actually pretty good. I thought it was on that yellow part because he had the Ukrainian colors on the yellow and blue. I thought that was on the belt, but Usyk seemed to make it seem as though it was below the belt, and
No,
even the ref stopped it.
I have to agree with you. Like Joshua looked better in the first probably four, 4 or 5 rounds. Fifth round was a little bit weird, but like
Hmm.
he definitely took 2 and 3. 100%. So he looked good, but part of it, as you watch it, looked like can he keep this up the entire fight?
Well,
You know what I
not
mean?
even that. I think even before the ninth round, because I was able to listen to some of the corner work, I kept hearing Robert Garcia asking for him to throw more, and mainly what I was hearing was throw the double jab and follow it with a right hand. And I felt like Joshua at times was waiting too much or sitting in front of Usyk and not throwing. He was being inactive, or I don't know if he was catching his breath. To me, it looked like he was still thinking too much.
Oh no, yeah, like maybe that's kind of the thing because he was doing everything right at the start, right? And so he's
Mm-hmm.
just so focused on trying to do the different things. Because as you saw in the fight, right, he got taller and taller and taller. He wasn't getting low again and anything like that. He was just going back to his old way as the round went on. So I agree with you that that whole, you know, overthinking.
Yeah, and of course, you could see where the body shots were definitely taking their toll, and more so in the ninth. I thought he was gonna put him down in the ninth round. I don't know how Usyk stayed on his feet because right there I was like, okay, Joshua's got him. He hit him to the body. You could tell he was visibly hurt, and I honestly thought Joshua might knock him out there. I was like, oh man, here he is finally pouncing on him. But then, even as that round ended, something told me when I was watching. I'm like, because I was watching it with my friend Jen, and I was like, Jen, this next round, the 10th round, is going to tell everything about the fight from Usyk to Joshua because Alexander's going to bring it. And sure enough, that's exactly what he did. He came after Joshua in the 10th after almost being knocked out in the ninth.
Yeah, that kind of showed you something about Usyk, like just the way that he did. I wouldn't say he almost got finished, but he was definitely in trouble.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, so but he came back, and then there was that one shot by Joshua there that did kind of send him back, but
Mm,
Usyk came right back at him.
yeah, but to me, those last three rounds were massive 10, 11, and 12. Usyk he just, he did what champions do. He answered the call. He knew he was down, he knew he was hurt, and he knew he had to do something because, in some way, shape, or form, Joshua did have most of the crowd on his side. And I think, again, I wasn't happy with Joshua's standing there. I felt like Joshua was just thinking too much. And even leading up to the fight, my biggest worry was he's listening to too many people, taking too much advice. Because I
Yeah,
would hear some of the commentary, whether it was Talk Sport, whether it was people on DAZN, whether it was a couple of the other British outlets. I kept hearing everybody saying, well, yeah, I got a chance to talk to Anthony and I said this, this, and that. And he seemed receptive. And to me, that's like, it's good, but at the same time, something kept telling me that's not good. You're taking in too much information. Keep it simple. If anything, just stick with what your corner's telling you or just read and react. Because to me, he just kept thinking too much, and Usyk stepped on it and took advantage of Joshua just being inactive, not throwing enough.
yeah, but I think it's also that, like you said, overthinking. He was losing the fight. Like he doesn't want to go out like get knocked out, right? You know what I mean? And I
Uh,
mean, but even after the fight, right? He was acting strange.
Yeah,
Like
after the fight, that was really tough to watch because that's something that's not characteristic of Joshua. And I think it was, if we really step back and try to understand the moment and what just happened to the man, you can kind of understand it because initially, before he does the antics with the belts, he tries to wrap himself with the Ukrainian flag
yeah,
as
try
Usyk's
to do
holding it up.
two heavyweights with one flag.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
And he's showing as much support as possible. And even after they announced that Usyk won, Usyk gets down on his knees and seems to be praying or saying thank you, and Joshua gets down with him too. So everybody that pointed out the belts thing and of course that's going to be the most eye-catching thing because yes, Joshua did toss him out of the ring. And again, I think he was just going through an array of emotions, and like this image you have right here is a perfect example. The man has been through a lot.
yeah.
He takes a lot more criticism than we realize, and I think more so in his home country of Britain. Um,
Well, because they wanted the best for him, for better or not. You know
well,
what I mean?
that's true and it's not because I was hearing a lot about a lot of people, prominent UK fighters, saying that they weren't happy that it seemed like half of the people in their own country wanted Joshua to lose. So it wasn't all support.
Mhm. And then do you want to? I mean, some of these other fights like that, the Zhang Hrgovic, that was unique.
Oh yeah, yeah. Zhang and Hrgovic was back and forth, man. At one point, I thought Zhang was gonna knock out Hrgovic, but even as we were talking about it on our group chat, Juan was like, "I think Hrgovic might quit." But
Yeah,
then all of a sudden, you see him just roar back, or his game plan, which would seem very risky if this was his actual game plan, was to basically wait Zhang out because he would tire in the later rounds, which is what seemed to happen. But Hrgovic took a huge risk by doing that.
he was
And
also the problem was is he kept slipping on all
oh
the
yeah,
mat.
that was another thing that kept happening, man. And I don't know if in the future they can somehow test the logo, like before you put it in, or
Yeah,
maybe.
no, you go out there and you freaking walk around on it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe next time they can have. Well, no, because they have prelim fights and things like that. I don't even know how they would do it, but I would imagine next time you got to think about what kind of material you're using for the logo and how does it affect the type of footwear that fighters use in the ring, because it was a mess. It was like, how many times are you going to wipe this thing down? Like, that was a very unfortunate thing for such a massive event to have little things like that. And right now we'll get to Badu Jack and Rivera, because that was a
Yeah,
huge
exactly.
one.
That's the biggest one, right?
Yes.
Like, how does nobody, even the corners, like, don't they have they usually have stopwatches, right?
You know what? That's a good point. I don't know how Rivera's corner, but then again, if you're in the fight and you're busy trying to give your fighter instructions, I think
Mm,
you definitely lose track. But somebody definitely should have been
it's like somebody had to
going.
have a
Hold on,
feeling,
hasn't this
right?
gone over a little
Exactly.
bit longer than necessary?
How many rounds, 3-minute rounds do you guys do, right? Doesn't it feel like this seems to be going on a little bit long? And then that's, I mean, it's easy to say, right? But that could technically be the reason why you won that fight.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely saw that a lot of people said that was the reason why Badu Jack won the fight. And I was arguing that Badu was already coming back on in the later rounds, and he was starting to land good body shots on Rivera, and Rivera was throwing back, but to me he was hitting Badu Jack's gloves a lot of the times, and his punches didn't seem to have as much sting in the later rounds. And I think that's because of Badu Jack's persistent pressure on him and throwing those awkward shots here and there. Like, Badu Jack's known for having those bursts of just coming at you. Like, he's standing there and all of a sudden he'll lunge at you and pop you. And he's known for those things. But to me, he was landing some good shots. Because I had somebody tell me that it was a landslide. I'm like, a landslide? What the hell are you watching? Yes, that eighth round should not have counted, and it was very unfair to Rivera without a shadow of a doubt. But to call that fight a landslide was insane. I thought Badu Jack was doing good and landing some good shots on Rivera. I think what should have happened is after that round, how nobody tried to speak to the judges or do something. There needs to be a rule implemented, or even at the end of the
Well, it's not
fight,
even the judges
they
for the
should have made some
minutes.
kind of announcement
Oh,
saying, because of the error, we are not going to count this round for either fighter.
I don't know. I think that's kind of like, yeah, it happened, man. Deal with it.
Yeah, but
You know?
unfortunately, had that not happened, I heard some of the commentary saying that Rivera won that round within the time frame that you're supposed to have, not the extended time that Badu Jack got.
Yeah, and so the scores on that was 96-94 by 2 for Jack, and then 96-94 for Rivera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, man, because it was actually a pretty good fight.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
And then we'll touch back on Callum Smith versus Bardalik. That
Yes.
was a good fight, but let's go ahead and move on to you want to do Navarrete or Figgy?
Um.
Let's
Yeah, we
do
can we
Figgy.
can we can
Well,
jump to
yeah,
those. I was gonna touch really quick on Andrew Tabiti, but yeah, let's jump to that, and then we'll come back to some of the other ones, because I wanted to throw a couple shout outs, but we'll do that at the end.
okay. So let's just go ahead to Figueroa versus Lipinets, and this is
Oh
I don't
man.
know.
But I already, like I was telling Juan, when this fight was announced, even before it was Lipinets, when it was Broner, and they said Figueroa versus Broner, I didn't like it right off the bat, because Figueroa's last performance was hard to watch, and this was
Yeah,
even harder to watch.
yeah, but I disagree with you about Broner would be a tougher opponent than Lipinets.
Oh
I
no,
think.
no, I didn't. To me, that didn't matter to me. Either guy, I didn't
Mm,
really care to watch, because I thought Figueroa is just the guy. Just he doesn't fight the way you're supposed to fight. He
Yeah,
didn't cover up right. His fundamentals were just off, and obviously we saw the beating he took. But even before this fight, it's
yeah,
just like I didn't want to see him fight anymore, honestly.
yeah. I could see that. I mean, yeah, it was pretty rough.
Yeah,
And I mean,
and I'm glad they stopped it.
yeah, especially as I mean, father trainers get a bad rap, but I mean, he did come in and stop it. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, congratulations to Lipinets. Who do you think he would fight next?
Wait, hold on. Was this at This was at 147?
I think so. Let me see. Uh,
Because why does he have that belt? But it might be the same stuff they always do, where they pull out a belt out of nowhere and they call it a title fight.
mm,
Because I thought this was at 140. No, it might have been at 140. Actually, no, super
hold
light.
on. So this
It
was
was at
for.
140.
Oh, was that you got it?
No, yeah, because half of the time now it's what boxing does, and it drives me insane. It's like, where did you get that belt?
Oh, this little thing.
There was no belt at play in this fight. It was the main event that had a belt at. I'm sorry, the co-main event that had a belt at play, which was the WBA, and we're referring to Alberto Puello versus Botrizon Ahkmedov. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I hope I did.
Yeah,
Um,
this was a good fight.
yeah, this was a good fight, and it went to the cards, and like again, this is a head scratcher as far as when you hear these scorecards.
Yeah.
It's like it was a close fight, 117, 111. But
Well,
then you have
they had.
somebody give you 113, 115.
And then what? Joshua won one card, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. No, it's just this one more so. I was just like, after watching it, I was like, how do we get these scores, man? This is always going to be a problem until they actually do something about it and figure
Yeah.
out how
Okay.
did you get these scorecards.
Yeah. All right.
117, 111 is it was a
But
close fight.
but
Obviously, you could tell by the reaction of Puello that it was a close fight.
yeah. But part of the reasoning was because his history, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so what was it? It was the trainer, the opponent's
Joel
trainer.
Diaz. I wasn't aware that Joel Diaz, he went to Joel Diaz. Well, obviously made us aware of it after the fight emphatically, and then was almost cringeworthy how he like pointed at Joel Diaz and basically gave him the freaking the you ain't shit stuff. And I was like,
You gotta
damn,
give him
son.
one.
And he just kept going at him, and even his corner man was like, hey, tone it down. But he was just emphatic about it because obviously maybe he felt that much he felt disrespected by him in the past when he went to him and said, hey, I want to be a part of your camp, and Joel Diaz was like, you're not good enough. Obviously he is. He beat your man,
Yeah.
and it was for a title fight, an actual legitimate title fight. I don't know what belt they gave Lipinets, with all due respect to Lipinets, but that I don't know what belt they gave you.
And so that's gonna be one of the first Dominicans crowned champion that night, and then right after that you had Garcia versus Gutierrez
Yes, this was uh it seemed one-sided.
until the end.
And then I don't know what happened to Gutierrez, or I don't know if maybe he thought he was winning the fight, or then it dawned on him, or maybe his corner said, what are you doing? We're down X amount of rounds.
Yeah.
Because in the ninth is when he woke up and he started landing shots on Garcia, and really good shots. And Garcia, for some reason, kept putting himself up against the ropes. And then at times, Gutierrez seemed like he was teeing off on him. But thankfully, Garcia showed his boxing skills and was throwing back some shots as well, and was able to evade a few of them, because that's how he basically won the 12th. He just outboxed him in the 12th round. Gutierrez wanted to engage, but Garcia was smart and just said, no, I know I got this fight. As long as I box, I'm fine. And that's exactly what happened. But to me, Gutierrez it was too little too late.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then yeah, I think what you're right. Like I think he maybe thought he was winning more in the middle rounds, and then thought I'll just pour it on heavy to make sure. But yeah, no, he was getting beat the whole time until the last three, and then the scorecards reflected that. You know.
Yeah, and this fight was at 130, so I'm curious. See, now here's I hate that this always comes up. It always just upsets me every time I think about, okay, so they're champions, who could they fight? Here's the problem. And this is again, you fight fans out there, wake up and stop rooting for one platform or the other. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Um, Garcia now owns a title at 130. Joe Cordina owns a title at 130. He's with DAZN. The other title at 130 is Shakur Stevenson, or the other two titles, excuse me, are owned by Shakur Stevenson. Now, the likelihood of us seeing Garcia versus Joe Cordina is slim to none because, again, for some damn reason, PBC, Al Heyman have a problem with Matchroom and DAZN. But the likelihood of Garcia and PBC taking on Shakur Stevenson is even worse because we already know who's going to win that fight, with all due respect to Garcia, especially the way Guiterrez was tagging him. I think Shakur Stevenson eats him alive if he fights him.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Do you want to move on to the Navarrete?
Oh, really quick, actually, you mind? Let's touch on Brandon Lee. I know it wasn't a title fight, but it became an interesting fight because Lee was dominating the first half of the first 3 rounds, and then all of a sudden in the fourth, damn, he
Uh,
got popped.
yeah. Hold on. Give me one
And
second.
we're referring to Will Madera. If we have it, pull it up. If not,
Yeah. Hold
I
on one
think
second.
most people saw it, but it was one hell of a shot that Lee took. And props to him for getting up and shaking it off because, man, thankfully for him, it happened late in the round because if it was early in the round, I don't know, man. Because Madera timed him very well. Or he was patient, waited for that opening, and boom, he caught him. So Lee's got a. Oh, sorry, it was the third round that he put him down in.
All right. Hold on. Hello. Okay.
No, if we have it, it's fine. If we don't, and because I know I wanted to touch on it real quick. So if I threw off the rhythm, then it's all right.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta set it up, kind. But um.
But yeah, Lee jumps to 26-0, undefeated still, and he's fighting at welterweight, which is one hell of a division to fight in.
All right. But here, yeah. Let's go to Navarrete Baez.
Main event:
Yes, sir. That was.
Emmanuel El Vaquero Navarrete against Eduardo Baez. This fight started off the opposite way that I thought it would, because I didn't expect Baez to come after Navarrete and land as well as he did. Because he was putting it on him, man.
Yeah.
And
I
Navarrete
know.
at times didn't know where to go or what to do. And Baez was making him miss too. It's not like it was just him landing some punches. He was moving out of range at times and using good waist movement.
Oh yeah. No. 100%.
Because
I think.
honestly, through
But yeah, Baez was like doing good work, and if you look at the scorecards, he was leading on 2 scorecards.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. To me, he was winning all the rounds up until the sixth. I had it 5-0
Yeah,
at the start of the sixth round.
and I think this is yeah.
Because yeah,
See,
look at that. He
he was
was
doing a
landing
little
some
work.
clean shots on him, man.
Yeah, like he was doing good.
Oh yeah, Baez definitely was ready for that title fight without a shadow of a doubt because he knew that this opportunity wasn't going to come again, and he definitely showed that he was ready for it. But Navarrete, I think, had some ring rust and definitely started to shake it off. And there's
Oof.
that mean shot to the liver.
I mean, dude,
Oof,
it was just
just
so clean.
look at that.
Not a lot behind it. You know,
It was perfect. That's
yeah,
what happened. Didn't
exactly.
need to be a lot behind it. It was a perfect shot because even when he went down, you could tell. Oh, eesh. Oof.
Yeah.
That was some Julio Cesar Chavez shit in his prime.
And
right
you're
to the liver.
and
Shows,
you're
damn.
right. The whole time, he said multiple times after the fight that there was ring rust, but now he was already talking about going to take a long time off.
Yeah,
So
he was out of the ring. I want to say 9 months. It was a while, but yeah, look at that. He wasn't gonna get up. He tried, but nah. It just landed right where it needed to, and he did the best. He did great though. Through 5 rounds, I had Baez winning.
no, and
I
I
was like,
think
dude, Navarrete better do something.
no,
This is
I
the 6th round. He better step on the gas now because this
yeah,
is the second half of the fight.
no, I agree with you. It doesn't take his stock down anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And then really quick one I wanted to touch on the I thought this would be on the actual televised card, but it was before the televised card, and I'm referring to Lindolfo Delgado against Omar Aguilar. And I was really excited for this fight because I know we mentioned it last week. Two undefeated guys, both young, both with knockout power. Lindolfo Delgado, 15-0, 13 knockouts. And Omar Aguilar, 24-0 with 23 knockouts. And this fight delivered. The only thing I found disappointing was I didn't understand why it was 8 rounds. That's the only thing that threw me off. I wish it would have been at least 10 rounds.
But aren't these young guys?
Yeah, but I would have anticipated 10 rounds for this magnitude of or these types of records and what they had been doing
Mm.
coming into this fight.
Now they're new to
Um,
me, but it was a good fight. Hell yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I
And
thought
shout out to Pita Garcia, Robert Garcia Jr. He did a great job in Lindolfo Delgado's corner. He's from the Robert Garcia camp, obviously. Um, and his dad trusted him enough to leave him in this type of a fight, and it was a big fight because this was two undefeated guys, both Mexican fighters. And to me, I know that might sound a little biased, but I thought it was going to be a great fight just because of that. Both knockout power, both undefeated, both young, and they're both Mexican guys, so they're not going to back down. And sure enough, that's what happened. They traded in the ring, but to me, obviously, the more intelligent fighter was Lindolfo because he started to time Aguilar and he started to land that uppercut um, with precision, and he almost put Aguilar down. I thought, I mean, I guess it wasn't a knockdown because you kind of can see him like
yeah, and
kind
I
of pulling
think
him down, sort of.
Aguilar had the more power. You know,
Yes,
you saw it in the face.
but like I said, Lindolfo boxed well, and he was listening to the corner. Like I said, I think Robert Garcia Jr. did a great job instructing his fighter, telling him what to do, when to throw, make sure he avoided shots, because he knew that Aguilar was going to come after Lindolfo, especially after that round where he almost put him down. And sure enough, that's what happened. Omar Aguilar put the pressure on Lindolfo, but Lindolfo was boxing well, throwing when he needed, then moving out of range. And like I said, timing him with that uppercut that he landed a few times. And Omar Aguilar's got a chin, man, because he got hit with some good shots, as did Lindolfo. So to me, nobody really lost here. Omar Aguilar still looks like an excellent prospect, and all he needs to do is go back and work on his boxing and making sure he understands the situation a little bit better.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, bunch of boxing, right?
Yeah, that
Any?
was that was. Oh, that's right. Quick mention. Um, not that we need to have footage for this one. Was Nico Ali Walsh?
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Another knockout for him. Good for him. Second round body shot. So hey, he's still winning. I mean, obviously it's only his fifth fight, but he's producing some
Yeah,
highlight.
it's
You could
unfortunate.
argue
He
some
gets
highlight reel material.
yeah. He just gets so much crap because he claims he's Ali. Huh?
Well, I mean, but at the same time, props to him for continuing to win because there is pressure there. If you're going to use that name, you had better know there's going to be pressure coming behind it. And behind pressure comes criticism. And behind criticism comes all that good stuff that he already knows. So if you're going to keep using that name, you better keep winning. And so far, he has. Yes, like I said, it's his fifth fight. I don't think we'll see him in there with any stiff competition for at least another 3 fights.
All right. All right. So let's go over to change it up here.
Yes, sir. Let's jump to Utah, Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and change it over to UFC 278. Good old Kamaru Usman versus Leon
Leon
Edwards
Edwards.
2, man. And bro,
Yeah, man. We were watching this, and I was like, oh, the first what 3 rounds, I was like, all right, Kamaru's got this.
oh
I
yeah,
don't see how Edwards beats him. That's what I was thinking in my head the entire time. Because, I mean, I've seen Usman enough to know that he is a great fighter.
no, I think even he was thinking that. You have to see. Everybody's probably seen it by now, but the corner work. If you can find the edit of him with the corner work, his corner is screaming at him and just like, "What's wrong with you? Stop feeling sorry for yourself. You got to pull this out of the fire." It's
Oh, to
crazy.
Edwards?
Yeah, I put it in the group chat.
Oh,
And
okay,
then
got
somebody
it.
did it with a Rocky music background because his nickname is Rocky, right?
Oh,
And bro,
oh yeah, man. It was
that's better than a cup of coffee. That will get you going. You're like,
that thing. That definitely stole the weekend. That kick, cause
oh,
damn.
and I mean, he did show some skills out here. Like,
Oh, and that was the first time Kamaru had been taken down,
yeah,
right?
yeah. First time he got taken down, nice little outside trip, and then
Mm-hmm.
straight into the mount. Come on, and he ended up on his back, threatening the choke. Like he was doing some good things. That was the first round.
And
But yeah,
then, oof,
Kamaru controlled the rest of it, and then here we go.
man.
And you have to admit, like Kamaru's good game plan was working.
Oh, well, yes, that's what I'm saying. To
Yeah,
me, I was like, okay, Usman's got this. Even when you were pointing out the takedowns, and when he had him on the ground, I was like, okay, maybe Kamaru might lose. But then when he got out of that, I'm like, okay, no, Kamaru's still in control.
yeah, but it was just winning the round, really. But God, just coming out with this
But
kick
just
from
seeing the way he
hell.
made him, he feinted him, and
Yeah,
then Kamaru went to the left, so he leaned into the kick just to make it worse. And oh, damn! And he was out before he hit the ground.
yeah, you can see like that left hand's poking
Ooh,
out, and then just whoop,
oh!
sent him to hell.
Before he hits the ground, he's out.
Oh,
Look
just
right there, he's already
folded.
out. Already out.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy
great
how
job
much.
by the ref, because the ref knew.
Look, and you got to
Yeah, look,
say,
see right there, he already recognized it. It's over.
and then it's always a good knockout when you have the meme of Herb Dean running in. Look at he's already running in.
That's what I'm saying. He recognized it right away, or
Yeah.
maybe he had just the sound of it. I
Oh,
can only
100%.
imagine what it was like hearing it from where he is, exactly where he is,
No,
how
it's
it
like,
sounded.
hey, looking
Hey,
good, sir.
bravo to Edwards, man.
Hey,
Bravo to him, man.
you
Like
cannot
he said,
deny. And yeah,
yeah.
this one's rough. And it's even
Oof,
rougher that
yeah.
his daughter was in the
Yeah, I mean
front row.
that's. Ugh,
Yeah,
oh,
this
they
and
no,
so
I don't want to see the. I
no,
don't
no,
want
no,
to
no,
see
no.
that.
This is just everybody's reaction, and
Oh
it's
yeah, I was gonna say I don't like seeing the reaction from the family.
no,
I
no, no,
don't know
no,
why they do that sometimes, whether it's boxing or MMA. It's like I don't want to see how the family reacts. We already know it sucks,
no. But
especially
somebody
when your
had
guy loses.
no, somebody rushed her out as soon as it happened.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
good.
and then just look at these. It's all such a
Oh
mixture.
yeah, man.
Like, look, everybody's like, "What the?" And
Oh
then the
yeah,
boys
man.
celebrating in
Oh,
the back.
Cejudo right there. Dang. Everybody's just. Oh right, I think I saw right there. Eesh.
Yeah, then where's
Woo.
Ali? Look at Ali.
Alley
His
who?
Ali. That's his manager, the bald guy.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, right there. Okay, I
yeah.
see.
And it's so silly. So who is sitting there? Oh yeah, Moreno.
Oh, that. Oh yeah, that is Moreno.
Like I'll tell you, it's like
Man.
Gaethje, everybody. It's such a mixture, right?
Right.
Um,
But no, we can't take away from Edwards. I mean, yes,
no.
everybody was shocked, but that's why you fight the fight, right?
And like I was telling somebody today at work, I was like, it wasn't some lucky spinning back kick or blind overhand right. No, it was a setup head kick from
Oh
hell.
yeah, and you could tell he set it up because, like I said, he made Kamaru lean into where he wanted it, where he threw the kick. So it
Yeah.
wasn't like like you said, it wasn't a lucky shot. He made him lean into it. It's
Yeah.
like in boxing, if you lean into the punches, probably because you didn't know it was coming, and
No.
boom,
Yeah,
that was oof,
that's what they
beautiful.
always say. The one that you never see is the one that gets you.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and that was a perfect example, unfortunately for Usman.
Yeah. And then some weird facts. It's that you have to think Trevor Whitman, right? Everybody was saying he was the best coach, and I think he's the best, one of the best coach. But
Hmm.
he's 0-3 right now. It's Rose lost, Gaethje lost, now Kamaru lost,
Oh, I didn't know that.
and then
Interesting fact.
so Ali Abdelaziz is like the big manager for like Khabib, Usman. So you used to have champions, no more champions now under
Oh,
his management. So it's like it's a big shakeup. Usman losing in that division. It's a big shakeup because I think Masvidal's hungry for it now. He thinks he can come in because think about it. Now I don't have to. I can try to get the belt from somebody who it isn't Usman.
but you do think that the UFC's not gonna want to go straight into a rematch?
I think they do want to do a straight match, but what are you gonna do? Bring him back three months later after a knockout like that?
I mean, well, don't they say sometimes it's better to get knocked out like that because you don't take as much punishment, like as far as accumulated
Bro,
punishment?
he was out for like a
Oh no,
minute.
yeah, trust
Look,
me, I saw that.
and
Like I
you
said, he
see
was out
like
before he hit the ground.
he was out, and then it wasn't even like like moving. You saw that blank stare and the 3,000 mile stare.
Yeah,
Like
man,
that's
that
crazy.
was oof.
But we'll keep it moving along because it was weird, right? It was like a roller coaster because the co-main,
Yes,
dude,
Luke Rockhold and Paolo Costa.
the co-main was everything you wanted it to be. You know, it was a good showing, crazy fight. I mean, Luke wasn't ready cardio wise, but I don't know. It's elevation, right?
But I was gonna say, I don't know if you could just put that on Luke because my personal observation of the fights that night, the fights period, if we set aside Usman and Leon Edwards because they actually looked pretty good. If we set them aside, I felt like conditioning was a big factor, and the elevation had to be the reason behind it.
No, and I agree with you because Usman trains out of Colorado, and Leon Edwards had been out there for like 2 weeks already before the fight,
So
which brings up a big point. Like, what do you do if you can't afford to go out there and get set up? I
yeah, how
mean,
do you simulate that?
yeah, supposedly Luke was already living out there.
It didn't look like it.
Yeah, I mean, he was tired at the first round.
I had never seen, or maybe I don't recall, seeing a fighter as the fight is happening, as he's in the octagon, hold his knees, like grab his knees
Yeah.
because he's that tired. And that's what Rockhold was doing. I was like, what the hell is he doing? I understand that he's tired, but isn't it still happening right now?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
But
But
yeah, you gotta give Luke
he
credit because
had his
even as
moments.
tired as he was, he kept landing some
Look at him.
shots on Costa.
Yeah, the kick was there. He was late, and then Costa was wasn't doing it as well, but he was winning the fight.
Yeah.
You know, you got like a nice little boop, boop. But yeah, Costa was pushing the pressure, and then just Luke was just too exhausted.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
shit. I even got tired watching him. Like, dang, man.
but he caught him with
See,
that
like that's
one.
what I mean. He was tired and he was still catching him. Boom.
That's the one. If you replay, it says
Yeah,
"fuck you."
yeah.
So, yeah,
But yeah, it was crazy because it was entertaining and then it was like
so
baffling at
strange.
times. And this was like the most insane thing I've seen. That oh, that was
Dude, that was good
fucking
stuff.
bizarre.
That's the way to go out. Cheers to
Because I
Rockwell.
guess he was that tired and that in desperation mode. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna
No,
rub
no,
my face
that's
all over
not
this, put
desperation.
my blood all over him. Maybe I guess try to blind him was
No, that
his
was just to
thinking.
fucking be like, I'm just gonna fucking put all this blood all over your face.
But that part I had to look away. I'm like, what is he doing? That was very weird. That was crazy to me. I'm like, oh,
Nah,
because you don't want to be that guy. I mean, you're already gonna get blood on you, and then you're gonna smear it in my face.
no, we could show you some fights like Gunnar Nelson versus Cowboy Oliveira,
Uh-huh.
not the other one, but like the older one. And homie got cut so bad, like they were both drenched in blood, like both just red.
Well, that's one thing to be cut, but it's another
But no,
thing
then he
for
got
your
him in a.
opponent to smear it on your face or your body. It's like that's a little
But when he got him in a, I think he got him in a choke, and the blood was falling in his mouth.
oof,
Yeah, it was like
and
craziness.
that's why they test them.
Yeah,
And
and then
especially, what did you make of that? Speaking of testing, what did you make of Costa?
oh, it was bullshit. And you know what Uncle Dana said at
What
the
did he
press
say?
conference? It will never happen again. They would.
But but
Yeah,
this
yeah,
was
I
my
knew.
argument. USADA is meant to be random, just like VADA, isn't it? It's random testing. That's what you agreed to.
Right. Listen, I understand what the term random means, but what Dana was saying was like, listen, the results aren't going to be different a couple hours later.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you could have waited until after he weighed in, he drank some water, his secret juice. He was the whole weekend after that test, right? He was carrying around a bottle like,
Mm,
whatever drink system he was drinking, and it
right.
said secret juice on it.
Yeah, when I saw that, I thought somebody had what's it
Photoshop.
photoshopped it.
No,
Yeah,
no, he
I
did
thought
that
that. I
to
thought, and
the.
then when you told me, I'm like, oh shit, that's not Photoshop.
Yeah, he
That's
also did it
funny.
at the post-fight press conference.
Mm-hmm.
Then this is kind of a weird one.
Oh yes.
Jose Aldo versus Marab Davlishvili. Hey, I think Jose just let up. You know,
Yeah. My personal opinion was just he's been through so many difficult fights in his career.
he's still the best to do it. One of the best to ever do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this guy got one takedown out of like 16 or some crazy number. Kept trying
Right.
to, couldn't do it. But yeah, I think maybe it was just the wrestling slowed him up and just really slowed him down. But one of the weird things that come out of this fight is that he is teammates with Aljamain Sterling, who is the champion of this division, and he just flat out refused. I'm never fighting this man.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
It's a pretty unique thing to just say, especially in the fighter world, because it's such a personal sport.
And Sterling was in the octagon
Oh
as he
yeah,
was
he was in the
saying it.
corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He was
cornered him the
giving
whole
him
weekend.
giving him
Yeah,
props and saying how much he
yeah,
admired him that he would not fight him. I mean, that's kind of cool, but I don't know what you do there if you're Dana.
yeah,
Do you make somebody vacate? I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know how that works.
I mean, you could also argue how many more fights does Aljo have to do? Because Aljamain Sterling's been in the fight game for a while.
Has he?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Let me see. Let me see. I don't know if that's. He's 21-3. You know what I mean? So he's got some fights under his belt, and most of them
But
are
how
these.
old is he? Sterling. Not that old, is he?
Uh, where is
I feel like
33?
he's in
No, he's 33.
30. That's not that bad.
At bantamweight,
Has he taken a lot of punishment? I don't feel like he's taking a lot of punishment, has he?
a little bit here and there. There is, I think, maybe one or two fights he did get kind of busted up.
Gotcha.
Uh, but yeah, but I just found it unique him talking about I'll never fight him. And then, of course, we got to talk about good old Mike and Venom Page versus Platinum Perry in the bare knuckle. And did you watch this? No,
I was at work. I was in there. There was a
dude.
lot going on too, because I was like, damn, I couldn't keep track of half of it sometimes. Oof.
So
Bare
that was the
knuckle
first round.
is.
Yeah,
But supposedly they say that it's what's it called?
better
It's
for you.
better on your hands, which I don't know how, but I guess.
I don't think so. I think
Yeah, I've
using
heard that
gloves is
argument.
better. No, it's this. The whole point is you can't punch as hard.
Right.
Is the argument. With the glove, it's like a weapon. at that point because after you tape up your hands and all that
Yeah, the
stuff.
padding and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, mainly the way they wrap the hands.
Yeah, because you
In
wrap those
boxing, that is.
hands. See, like, but they don't have any wraps over their
Yeah.
knuckles, you know. But yeah, it was actually an entertaining fight. You know, there's but
Well,
Perry got jacked up,
oof.
but it went to 6 rounds. So the fifth round was a draw, and so they went to sudden death 6, and Perry closed it out in the 6th.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, me neither. Until I was like, wait a minute, this is 6th round, and so um, by this time, Michael Venom MVP was too tired. He was done, and Perry just gutted that shit out. But he did get fucked up.
Wait, oh, did Perry win or did Venom Page win?
Perry won.
Oh.
Yeah, and bare knuckle, it really doesn't matter what you look like at the end of the fight because people get cut so bad, and he has so much scar tissue on his face.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I was
Yeah,
about to say. Well, aren't they arguing that it's better not to have anything on?
yeah. The arguments of like which style of fighting is better for you is kind of nil to me because like any kind
Yeah, you're
of
still
getting
getting hit in
punched
the
in the
face.
head, yeah, kicked in the face, even jiu-jitsu. People like putting massive strains on your knees and joints and
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's not good for you.
Just as you say that, I can feel my damn knee pain.
Yeah. And then we had to quickly mention PFL, Kayla Harrison versus Martina Jindrova. Unfortunately, Jindrova fell under the juggernaut that is Harrison and got triangle choked from Mount
Oh,
in the first round.
eesh.
And 0 strikes landed.
Damn.
I think 2 thrown, 0 strikes landed. Kayla Harrison basically just took her down so quick,
And
held
that's
her
all
down,
she wrote.
and then yeah, just mounted triangle. Like that's because the whole idea that triangle, arm triangle, is you got to move over the entire crest to the other side. She just did it sitting on top of her. That's how strong she is. She was saying she only got maybe a couple more fights left with her, left with PFL. She doesn't think she's gonna do another $1 million season.
This is Harrison.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they're saying Scott Coker was saying he's gonna pay $2 million to Cyborg to come fight PFL, and then he'll pay. It's $1 million a piece for the girls, and then a $2 million pot,
Oh, wow. But
something like that.
Cyborg's gonna box in
Yeah,
on September 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know how that's gonna work.
who's she gonna be fighting?
They have not announced it. Have not announced it yet, to my knowledge. And word is that she's gonna have this fight in September, and then she's gonna fight Katie Taylor potentially. It's either her or Holly Holm.
Really?
Hmm. And word is it's gonna happen in Belfast.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that'll be cool. The first women's crossover fight as far as boxing's concerned.
Well, but they're both MMA artists.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And
Oh,
so they're
okay.
gonna cross over into boxing and take
Yeah.
on an actual boxer, which I don't think either of them has a shot. The best one to
Holly
have a shot
Holm?
is
No, no,
Holly
no, no.
Holm
Yeah, okay.
because
I
she
was
she
gonna say.
she came from the boxing background.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Don't you talk bad about the preacher's
No, what I'm
daughter?
saying, out of both of them, Holly Holm has the better shot.
Yeah.
Although Cyborg does have the size advantage.
All right, and then we'll just clean it up here, going a little bit long. With just little missed knockouts. This one was the first fight on the prelims. Alto Morano versus Da Silva. Dude, for the first fight in the UFC card, it was just all action. Alto Morano got rocked in the first by Da Silva, so it looked like yeah, Da Silva's controlling the fight, but Alto Morano just turns it back around and just got that dog in him and just finishes
Ooh.
him out. TKO just pound like see just
Oh,
so yeah,
let him
it was a
have
good
it,
fight
son.
just for the first one. And then it was funny because people were talking about that's the most violence we've seen so far all day because after all the boxing and shit like that. It was
Oh,
silly. And then this next one we have Tyson Pedro, the New Zealand. Oh no, he's from Australia. fighting out of Australia. Took off 3 years because of knee surgery, but he's been coming out back in a good way. He's now on a 2-fight win streak with this TKO over Henry Hunsucker. Watch this little jab he gives him. Boop.
It wasn't. I thought it seemed like an eye poke or something.
No. You can see his
It's
hands
almost like
close.
his eye is maybe.
No,
Hey,
it
look.
definitely affected the eye because if you watch the fight, you see him squint.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I
And
wonder
then,
if it got
oof.
him in the eye. But damn, right, kicked him right into.
Yeah, just little.
Ooh. That was
And
all she
then
wrote.
we're gonna have to mention this is Larissa Pacheco from PFL. So she just clinched the berth into Kayla Harrison. So she has to fight Kayla Harrison for the championship. Kayla's beat her twice though, but she's got a little nice little knockout here. Boop. Yeah. And she's on 5 first-round KOs streak right now.
Damn, that's a pretty good streak.
I don't know if it's PFL competition or what. And so, yeah, here we go. We got Brandon Lee versus Madeira.
Okay.
And then this little nice, it was a nice right hand.
Ooh. Ooh, like I said, he's lucky it happened when it happened because it gave him enough time to get up
Yeah,
and then to stay away from Madeira while the round ended. Because, damn, he got caught. And obviously it was a good shot because he fell back a certain way. It's like, oh, man.
But he persevered.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Props to him. He went and made sure he did what he does. He's a better athlete. He's a lot better skilled, and he showed why after that because he was able to recover and go back to boxing. And then he was a lot better after that, obviously. But man, that just tells you got to be careful. You
I was about
can't
to
get
say
too comfortable in there.
no, but I was about to say it kind of shows good matchmaking on his managers, not going too far in the deep end too early, because he's very young.
Yeah, and he stays undefeated, so good for him.
Hey, sponsored by Jinro Soju. Let's go.
I saw that, yeah.
And then last one we have here, yeah, Callum Smith versus the Belgian.
French.
Oh, he's French.
Mathieu Badalik.
Badalik. And it was a good fight. Callum Smith controlled it though.
Callum Mundo Smith. But hey, man, in the first round, in the early rounds, Badalik came to fight though. I always appreciate that when you know the other guy's favored or has more of a name than you do, and they still come to fight. Perfect example is the ladies card. Garcia Nova did not come to fight because the shot that Ramala landed was not that strong, not that special. Yes, it landed clean, but it didn't look like anything that she couldn't get up from. But anyway, I was just happy that Badalik came to fight. And my only thing with this was Callum, great. Another knockout. 2 knockouts back to back. 2 eye-catching knockouts at that. But to me, he takes too many. He gets in love with headshots, with headhunting, I should say. So he's got to be careful with that because he won this fight, and this now means that he's the mandatory for Artur Beterbiev. Take that for what you will, because we already know in boxing, mandatories mean only so much. But let's say that it is a mandatory, which will happen. He can't fight that way against Artur Beterbiev. Beterbiev will knock him out. I'm sorry to the British fans listening, but no. If you fight Artur Beterbiev that way and you headhunt and you don't go to the body the way I was asking for when I was watching this fight, I was like, what are you doing? Go to the body. The guy, you can hit him to the head and he's able to take the shots. So go to the body. And Buddy McGirt was saying that, all credit to his corner. And I didn't know he was being trained by Buddy McGirt until I watched this fight. But McGirt was telling him, go to the body, son. Go to the body. But I think Callum just fell in love with going to the head, and obviously the shots were there for him. But thankfully he got the knockout, a highlight reel knockout. Great for Callum Smith. But if he's going to take on Artur Beterbiev, he had better listen to Buddy McGirt and everything he's going to tell him, because that's going to be one hell of a challenge. And I prefer that over Anthony Yard, because Anthony Yard was supposed to fight Archer Beterbiev, but Beterbiev pulled out because he got injured.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, big fight week. Let us know any fights that we should have talked about, and
Make sure you like, comment, and if you really enjoy the content, please subscribe and hit that bell notification button.
then
And
we'll be coming back with another episode. We're gonna be talking about, because it's gonna be a slow week. We're gonna be talking about some other subjects, talking about the heavyweight landscape after this win by Usyk and what it looks like for everybody involved. So
absolutely.
all right, thank you guys.
Thank
Just
you, fight
bleed.
fans.
All right, bye.